see, I'm in a different spot, but this is temporary because it literally took me over a half an hour to get this spot set up and to make sure that I was in focus. So I hope that it's all working out, that I'm in focus. I have this really big, gigantic window in front of me that is giving off some natural light. So I'm hoping that you can see the blushes that I'm going to be sharing with you. I will be doing close-up shots just in case you cannot see them as good. Now, as you can tell by the title, these are my everyday natural looking blushes. If I'm doing a look and I don't have to think about a blush that I want to put on, these are the blushes that I tend to reach for. They just look good with any look that I'm doing. If you are somebody that doesn't like a blush that has too much color, that's too pigmented and it makes you look like a clown, and you just want something that's gonna make you glow, give you like a beautiful color to the cheeks, and just give your skin some life, and then these are the blushes that I do recommend. So let's just go ahead and get started because I have a lot that I want to share with you. So I'm gonna go through them really quickly, just kind of talk a little bit about them, not too much, and let's just get started, okay? Oh, before I get started, I just want to say hi to all my new subscribers because I know I've gotten quite a few in the last couple of days. And for the ones that have been watching my channel for a while, you will see some repeats in this video. So the first blush I want to share with you is Nars Madly. And I've talked about this a ton because it is a blush that I think is a must-have in everybody's collection. It is one of my all-time favorite blushes. If I had to choose one and literally only live with one, I think it would be this one. And that is really hard for me to say because I am a blush junkie, but literally that's the truth. Like, I love this blush a lot. It just goes with anything. Anything that I do, this will do it for me. It has really nice pigmentation. It's still easy to work with, and it just looks good on every skin tone. So I really love Nars Madly. Next is Tarte's Exposed. I'm pretty sure some of you have already heard about this blush. When it first came out, it was a favorite for a lot of people, and it still is till this day. This is my very first blush that I ever purchased by Tarte, and it doesn't have the best pigmentation, and I don't know if it's because I've had this blush for so long, but for me it just doesn't. I really have to build this color up in order for it to show up on my skin. But let me know in the comments down below if you guys have that same problem with Tarte's Exposed, because I do have other blushes from Tarte that are really, really pigmented, but for some reason this one is just not, and I don't really understand why. But anyways, I still really love it because it just looks so natural on the cheeks, and it does go with anything. So this is Tarte's Exposed. They do last 12 hours, which I do agree with. So they're very, very well known in the beauty community. Next is by Clinique, and this is their Soft Pressed Powder Blush in Totally Tawny. This is my very first blush from Clinique. Again, my friend Chelsea hauled this and I decided to pick it up at the time, and I'm really happy that I did. It does remind me of Nars Madly, but not as pigmented. And I would say it's just slightly deeper than Nars Madly, but it's beautiful and it's half the price of that. I think I only paid around $20 for this, or I don't know, something like that. It was definitely cheaper than the Nars blushes. So I do recommend this one if you don't want to splurge on a higher end blush, but it's still somewhat high end. Okay, this next one is by Hourglass, and it's called Mood Exposure. When I first purchased this blush, I was not able to put it down. It's so beautiful, and the one thing that I like about the Hourglass lighting blushes is that you can build the color up and it will never look kind of like muddy or too much color on the cheeks. It just leaves a beautiful airbrushed look to the skin, and I don't feel like these accentuate my pores a lot either. It just looks airbrushed, like I said. So this is Hourglass Mood Exposure. And Hourglass does have the Trio palette. Oh no, never mind, that was limited edition. But that was in the limited edition one. Okay, this one is by MAC. This is their Mineralize Blush in Warm Soul. Now, Warm Soul, I can't really wear it on its own because it doesn't really show up on my skin. I do have medium to olive skin tone, so if you are somebody that is lighter or fair than me, this will definitely look really nice on you. But what I like to use this is to top it with other blushes. It just really brings out the color and it leaves a beautiful sheen to the cheeks, and it almost leaves me it almost gives me that natural looking JLo glow. So that's what I really love about this blush. So this is MAC's Mineralize Blush in Warm Soul. Next is by Burberry, and I just want to take a moment to just cherish this packaging because I really adore the Burberry packaging. Burberry is really hard for me to get here in Canada. I have to drive like 3 hours away and they don't ship to Canada. One day I think they will. I think they're even planning on opening up a Nordstrom's in my city, so that is very exciting and I will be able to purchase Burberry. My friend Chelsea actually gifted this to me and oh my goodness, you guys. It smells so good, and I didn't realize that Burberry actually had a scent to their blushes. So that makes me really excited because I know Chanel has that same effect as well, where it has a really nice scent to them, and it just gets me every single time. But anyways, back to this blush. It is just gorgeous. I actually really like to pair this with one of the HD cream blushes by Makeup Forever. I believe it's the number 335. If I am wrong, I will leave it right here for you guys. But it just looks so good paired with that, especially if you want to deepen up this color a little bit more. Again, it does not look like much in the pan, but on the cheeks, it is absolutely stunning. They are so silky soft, not as soft as the Illamasqua blushes, because those are probably the softest blushes that I've ever tried, but they are definitely up there for me, and I love this blush. So this is Burberry Earthy. Okay, Bobbi Brown. Now this is a blush trio that I did up myself, but I want to talk about one blush in here, and it's called Almond, and it's this one right here. Now Almond, this is probably the most pigmented blush that I have that I'm going to share with you in this video. So you do have to use this with a light hand because you can add a little bit too much, but I really enjoy this color. I think it looks really good with a smoky eye, or if you're using something like Camel in the Crease by Bobbi Brown or MAC's Uninterrupted, this is actually a really pretty blush to pair with colors like that. So I wanted to mention it. It is, you know, it's still a very natural looking blush, but it does have a lot more color than most of the blushes that I'm sharing with you. So this is Bobbi Brown's Almond. Okay, this next one is by Chanel, and I'm not sure if it is limited edition. It might be, so I do apologize. I will have all the blushes listed down below with a link to where you can purchase them, but I'm going to share with you anyways, just in case it is part of the permanent line, but it's Chanel Jersey. Now don't be disappointed if you cannot get this blush, because most of the ones that I'm sharing with you are very, very similar, and they pretty much look almost the same on the cheeks. But if you're a blush fanatic like I am and you love Chanel blushes like I do, then you might want this in your collection. But yeah, this is Chanel's Jersey. It almost reminds me of the color from MAC, Warm Soul, but this one has a bit more shimmer to it. This is more of a satin finish on the cheeks, which I do prefer a little bit more. So this is Chanel's Jersey. This next one is Lover's Blush by Estee Lauder. I seen Lisa D1 talk about this, and I even talked about this in my weekly blushing obsessions a couple weeks ago. It was one of my favorites, and I think it's a gorgeous, gorgeous color. So again, if you like Nars Madly or even MAC's Warm Soul, they're actually, the colors are very, very close. This has a little bit more pigmentation than Warm Soul, and it's a little bit deeper than Nars Madly, but again, it just gives you a beautiful sheen to the cheeks. When you do look at it, you can see a little bit of tiny little flecks of shimmer in there, but you can't notice it on the cheeks whatsoever. So I really like this one. I can wear this one on its own. I don't really have to build this one up too much on me because I am more of an olive skin tone. But yeah, it's gorgeous, and I do recommend it. And I've been so obsessed with Estee Lauder blushes lately. I don't know what it is. I do want to get another one. It's kind of like an apricot orangey color. I believe it's called Wild Honey, something like that. That's going to be my next purchase from Estee Lauder. Okay, And another one is Gingerly by MAC. This was my very first purchase, a blush purchase by MAC. Oh my god, I can't even speak. And it is my all-time favorite blush by MAC, next to Nars Madly. So I guess if I had to choose from two blushes, it would definitely be MAC's Gingerly and Nars Madly. So hopefully they never discontinue this color because I absolutely love both of them. But Gingerly, it's beautiful. It goes with any look that you're doing, and it does go really nice with any skin tone. So those were my high-end blushes that I do have in my collection, but I do have 3 at the drugstore that I do want to mention. And the first one is by Quo, and Quo you could pick up here in Canada at Shoppers Drug Mart. I believe from my understanding that it's exclusive to Shoppers Drug Mart, but I could be wrong. This is their baked blush in Bear. And this is the packaging. It doesn't have the greatest packaging. It's kind of cheaper packaging, but this blush is really pretty. It almost reminds me of Warm Soul, but a little bit more tamed, a little bit more natural. So again, this is a blush that I do have to kind of build up onto my cheeks to show some color, but this doesn't have as much shimmer as Warm Soul. Sorry, I know I'm comparing most of these blushes to Warm Soul, but that's just what I'm comparing it to, just to kind of give you guys an idea. This just doesn't have as much sparkle as Warm Soul does, so it's a little bit more wearable for some people, because some people don't like a lot of shimmer or sparkle on the cheeks. So this is a good one to pick up at the drugstore. This next one I'm actually very excited to share with you guys, because when I was going through my blushes and getting ready for this video, I realized that this blush right here is so similar to the Burberry blush, and the only difference is this has a sheen, this is matte. Other than that, the color is exactly the same, it just gives a different finish. So to me, I think that's very exciting, because a Burberry blush, I believe, is what, I'm sure it's up in the $40, $50 range, and the Annabelle is only $6, $7 at the drugstore. So you can't beat the price, and if you're on a budget, then I would just go with something like this. This is the Annabelle blush in, I don't know if it's called Blush On, or if it's, I don't know if that's the name or the name of the blush line. I'm not even sure, but it's the number 32. It's so similar, you guys, it's scary. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up when I do my close-ups, but here's the Burberry and here is Annabelle. And like I said, the only difference is this is matte, this has a sheen to it. And it's a gorgeous everyday blush. It just leaves a beautiful wash of color to the cheeks, perfect for everyday, goes with any look, and it's only $6 at the drugstore. And I don't hear anybody talk about Annabelle. Nobody. And I'm not sure if that's because the States can't get Annabelle. I'm not sure if it's only sold in Canada. I will double check for you guys to see if they do ship Annabelle to the States. They might, because the States gets everything. Okay, and actually I just have one more to share with you, and it's the NYX Blush in Terracotta. This almost has more of a golden sheen to it, more of a bronze glow to the cheeks, but it's still very natural. And I wanted to mention it because I think it's really pretty for the summertime coming. And yeah, it's a good one. And NYX, I believe, is under $10 as well here in Canada, so it's very affordable. It's got great pigmentation. They go on really nice. They're really smooth. They're really soft, and I really enjoy this blush, and this is NYX Terracotta. Okay, so those are my everyday natural looking blushes. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. If you have any blushes that you recommend for me, please leave them in the comments down below. I also have a giveaway that is going on till Friday. I will leave all that information down below for you guys in case you guys did not enter yet. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.